Sound check that real quick, Coach.
Yeah, can you hear me?
A little low.
Can you hear me?
Ready to start? Well, here we go then. Well, good evening, folks. Welcome into the Primestar Home Health Coaches Show. I'm Ben Hackler here with Coach Doty tonight. And, Coach, short weekend, and you guys are already kind of getting into the swing of things, heading off to Thursday. But how's the weekend go so far?
Yeah, we had a great weekend, and, we came in on Saturday and had a long day Saturday because we had practice Sunday because we go play Thursday this week. And but it was a great weekend, get a little chance to rest and relax. But we're back at it Saturday, and then brought the kids in Sunday. So it's been a short week for us. So excited about playing on Thursday though.
Well, coaches, we have each week, and this week 9 of the Coaches Show. Kind of hard to believe that we're 9 weeks into this. But as we've started each week, let's start tonight with our McDonald's Senior Spotlight. Glad to have Miss Jennifer Thomas back with us tonight. Coach, who are your two seniors and captains tonight?
We got Brent Lark and Javarius Himes. You guys come on down for us. We'll start off, Javarius has been with us for 4 years. He's been injured this year. He hadn't got to play, and, but he's been with us at practice, and he's working some film stuff and being a part of the program. We're real proud of him. Javarius is a hard worker. When he's not here, he's not at school, he's working somewhere. So we're proud of him and his work ethic, and Brent is another little different story here. Brent was with us, and he left his junior year and went to Texas and stayed over there a year, and got a phone call late this summer about him maybe coming back. So he came back with us, and we're glad to have him. And, we're excited about these guys. Very good students, very good young men, and they'll be our captains this week and are also our McDonald's Senior Spotlight. So let's give these guys a hand. Appreciate you guys.
All right. Well, Coach, let's talk a little bit about last Friday night and a good win to kind of close out the home part of the schedule, 28-0. And before we talk specifics, and I asked you earlier about, we'll talk about this just for a moment, the game was kind of overshadowed by the way that it ended, kind of suddenly there in the third quarter. And lots of things been said online, and I've wrestled all weekend with who to address and do I even get involved in that. I chose not to, stayed out of the fray. But, Coach, when the game ended, what led to that, and what did the officials say as far as why the game ended at that point?
Well, their coach got ejected right before all that happened, and they just felt like they wasn't going to get control of the game, and they didn't want to have to deal with all that. And he came to me and said, "We called the game. We're not going to be able to play football. There's too much going on." And he said, "I don't want this to get into a situation to where maybe one of your guys gets thrown out or does something stupid." So I said, "Look, man, I think it's a good call. I hate it because the guys that don't get to play at the beginning of the game a lot, we're all going in to get reps. And, it was our last regular season home game. And, our seniors, some of our seniors that don't start had just went in the game. And, you hate to see that wasted, those reps wasted. And you hate our young kids didn't get reps, but that's the gist of it. I mean, I think they just got tired of putting up with it and decided they wasn't going to have it anymore."
Well, Coach, and not for us, and really Friday night, a lot of words were used like melee, fights. It wasn't really any of that. It was very one-sided, it seemed like, from the booth that I was in and what was happening on the field. But it seems like around the state, a lot of those things beginning to happen. A lot of games are getting out of control. But when games begin to turn that way, and we've not had very many like that, how do you help your players not get caught up in that, in the emotion of the moment and all those things?
Well, I think the last time we had anything close to that was in 2016 at OCS. But I think as a coach, you got to keep your emotions in check. While all that was going on with him out there, some of the coaches on the sidelines, you probably need to go out there, coach. And, I was thinking, well, why do I need to go out there? What am I going to do? Put him in a headlock? And so, I just went out and brought my kids over and asked them, what's going on, and, calm down, whatever's happening. But I think you got to, the players got to, they got to get their cue from the head coach. And, I think you got to stay even keeled in those moments and just remind the kids what you're playing for next week and the week after and in the playoffs. And, some people are not playing for the same things we are. And so we just want to make sure that we understand that we want everybody available next week. So I thought our kids did pretty good holding their composure, especially at that moment.
Right. Because, like I said, it overshadowed kind of a game that for us was pretty good, 28-0 victory. But let's talk about the actual game. I just want to give you a chance to kind of clear the air of some folks maybe wondering, hey, what happened there? But let's talk about the actual game. Coach, you looked at the film and the 2.5 quarters you got to look at. What were your initial thoughts, and what did you think about Friday night?
I thought we flew around really good defensively. I mean, we tackled well again. We had several tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Our defensive line really controlled the line of scrimmage. I thought the situations we were in with special teams, I thought we did great. The punt we had that we downed inside the 10-yard line was outstanding. And, and I think that coming out of halftime, our offense was starting to catch, click. And you hate to see it get stalled down because of something like that. But that's the way it is sometimes. So, but yeah, overall, I was excited about it. And, I thought we did good. I think we had some really good individual performances. And, but I also know that we got to play better each week to get to where we want to get. We got to come out better than we did, especially offensively the other night.
Well, Coach, let's talk about that offense. I mean, you did have kind of a slow start, but you found some success. Not slow start. You started fast, then kind of settled into some things. But you found success through the air and on the ground. I think Dylan Downs had a really good night passing, 6 of 7 for 94 yards, and then found the end zone 4 times, a couple rushing touchdowns, a couple tosses there. And as you look at Dylan this point in the season, week 9, where have you seen the most growth, and what are you looking for him in the next couple of weeks?
Well, I will say this. I think a lot of times when you have an easy touchdown to open the game up, you kind of get a relaxed feeling. That didn't happen to us when we went to Bastrop, but, it happened to us the other night. And, but speaking on Dylan, Dylan has improved his passing tremendously. And, we've had some guys that's making great catches for him. I thought Gilmore's catch in the end zone was a great catch. It was a good throw and catch. He threw it the only place he could throw it, and that's a tough catch.
Yeah,
especially for a guy that's only been playing offense for a year. It was a heck of a catch for him. And Idaho again is I think one thing I would do if I was playing us, I'd make sure that I was deep on the first play of the game. So, but he runs by people, man. He's making plays for us, and so yeah, Dylan knows where he's got to go now. Dylan knows what he needs to do to lead us, and now he's just got to go get it done.
Well, Coach, offensive line also had another good night. Not a night that we have seen. It wasn't a 300-yard rushing night, but they also had a lot of short fields due to the defense's performance, and so the stats maybe aren't overwhelming, but offensively you were much more balanced with the passing yardage. You had 32 carries for 140 yards rushing. But, Coach, one of the things that you've been able to do the last couple of weeks offensively is everybody likes the big plays. We're all looking for the highlight plays, but your offense has begun to be able to ground and pound folks for long, sustained drives. What does that do for your team as a whole when you're able to have 12, 15-play drives and take 5-6 minutes off the clock?
Well, the one thing it does specifically is it puts your defense over there to rest. And when they're not on the field for the other team getting an 8 to 10 play drive, when they come out there fresh and ready to go, got great legs, and let's go get it. But yeah, it's great for our offense to do that. And like I said, we may not be the sexiest team in the league, but we're 7-1 doing what we do. So and we're excited about our offensive line. I mean, when you got guys like that and the running backs we got, and now Dylan's starting to throw the ball well, and we're catching the ball well. We just need this offense to come together. And what better week to start than right now?
Absolutely. Well, Coach, let's talk about your defense. You get the shutout. I know that's always a place to hang your hat week in and week out. But some of the things that really stood out statistically at the half, I think Northwestern had -1 total yards and finished the night with 13 positive total yards. And I don't know that I'd been a part of a ball game where defense had that dominant of a performance. And that includes a 30-something yard run there to end the game before it was called. So 13 total yards of offense, pretty impressive. What were your thoughts as you looked at the film of the defense, and kind of who stood out to you from Friday night?
Well, I thought, again, our defensive line controlled the line of scrimmage, which allows our linebackers to go and run and make plays. And, our front seven, I think, is really good. And I think our defensive backs are improving every week to the point, hopefully here in a couple of weeks, I can tell you they're really good. I think they're good, but I think our front seven is really good. And, we just got to stay healthy and keep getting better. But, we're tackling, so much better than we have. And even in 21, I'm not sure if we're not a better tackling team now than we were in 21. And we were pretty good in 21.
Yeah.
So the difference is, we got a lot of people making tackles now. And in 21, you'd have 3 or 4 guys,
Right.
Mod Mills made a lot of tackles.
Absolutely.
And but now he's kind of spread out. So it's great to see us playing good team defense. No doubt about it.
Well, Coach, I want to give a little credit where it's due because we have talked a lot about the secondary, your front seven. We know how good they are. But one of the things I was impressed with against Union found some success in the 2-receiver set, kind of what I'd call just the sucker pass, the quick hitter out there. This week, your guys seem to be all over that. I think Travis Adam broke that thing up a couple times, then made quick tackles for losses. What was the key to that adjustment? Like, what did you focus on for that adjustment from the last week to this week?
I think we changed the way we covered that a little bit, and it made a lot of sense how we changed up the coverage on that. And, like I said, it's just, your kids take pride in that type of stuff, and they don't want to see people running down the field wide open. So they made adjustments, practice hard, and just made the play this week.
Well, Coach, you talked about the tackling, and I actually had that in my notes to talk to you about because that has been impressive this year. Watching the tackles. And even if one of our guys is to miss, what we know is going to happen is there's 3 or 4 more guys coming like missiles to finish that thing off. And when you guys talk about tackling in practice as you've prepared for the season, gang tackling is kind of what we call that because one guy's going to get to him and then they're going to finish him off. What helps your guys embrace that? A lot of times you see kids go in and just want to throw a shoulder, but that's not tackling. Tackling's wrapping up and finishing it. How have you helped your kids embrace that?
Well, I think that the kids were a little embarrassed about how the defense tackled last year. I think they kind of took it to heart. I think they worked on it. And basically what we've told our kids is, get the guy on the ground. You can have 20 schemes. You can be Nick Saban is the best defensive coach out there. But if you don't tackle, what difference does it make? So, tackling is number one priority. We want to line up right, we want to play fast, and we want to tackle. And then those X's and O's, I'm going to tell you, they become irrelevant if you can play like that and play fast. And our kids are doing that, and it's fun to watch.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, again, congratulations on the win Friday night, 28-0 over North Webster. Let's talk about our players of the week, again brought to us by First Security Title of Monroe and Mr. Mitch Houston. Coach, who are your players of the week this week?
Well, offensively, we went with Jacob Breen. Jacob, come on down. Jacob had a couple good catches the other night. He's had several this year, and but what's impressive with Jacob is his blocking, and he works his butt off blocking downfield. When you run the veer offense like we do, we put in there the program says wide receiver, but it should say stalk blocker because that's what you got to work on. And again, Coach Chrislett has done a great job teaching these guys technique, and Jacob's done a good job of buying into the coaching. Had a great game blocking the other night, and has got good hands and runs great routes, and we're proud of him. Our defensive player of the week is Dylan Underwood. Dylan's had several good games, kind of stood out this week. Started off first game of the first play of the game, had a big tackle for loss, kind of set the tone for our defense. Tackling much better than last year, leading much better than last year. He's a guy that, he's not a 12th grader, he's a senior, and there is a difference. And so we're proud of him. Great grades. Both of these guys have good grades, and proud of these guys, and these are our players of the week.
Congratulations,
appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Well, folks, we're going to take a quick break. Be right back in 60 seconds with more of the Coaches Show in just a moment.
Choose Primestar Home Health. We'll provide the best care for your patient or loved one. From managing chronic conditions to wound care and therapy, we specialize in a wide range of services. Primestar Home Health. We have the skill to heal and the spirit to care. Choose Primestar Home Health. We'll provide the best care for your patient or loved one. From managing chronic conditions to wound care and therapy, we specialize in a wide range of services. Primestar Home Health. We have the skill to heal and the spirit to care.
Benoit Ford Chevrolet GMC in Farmerville is here to serve you and your family just like you are a part of ours. With 2 dealerships for you to find the perfect vehicle, Benoit is proud to offer great deals right here in the heart of North Louisiana. 206 South Main Street and 1001 Sterlington Highway in Farmerville, going the extra mile to offer you the best options for your vehicle needs. That's what we do. Stop by and join the Benoit family in your new vehicle from Benoit Ford Chevrolet GMC today.
All right, folks, welcome back into the Coaches Show, brought to you by Primestar Home Health. Again, I'm Ben Hackler here with Coach Doty. And Coach closed the door on last week. And this week, Panthers on the road down to South Louisiana to take on the Amite Warriors, a contest that we picked up last year. And you and Coach Powell agreed to have a home and home. And so a little bit about Amite. We kind of first meeting ever last year was the first time, I believe, that these two teams had met in the regular season. And this year we'll make the trip back down there. And week 9 on the schedule for you could be a bye week. We talked about that last year, but you chose to play this game against a quality opponent. And I know I've heard you say that every year you look for a good long road game on the schedule. Why is that so important for your team, and why do you think that's so important for every team to experience that?
Well, in case you have to go on the road in the playoffs, and the way the playoffs are set up is different than it is in Mississippi. In Mississippi, you got a north half and a south half, so you don't travel the way you do in Louisiana, and so you never know. I mean, in 21, second round game, we have to go to Westlake. We're the number 1 seed, and you have to go to Westlake, but we had already been to North DeSoto. So we had that travel game, so we knew how to handle, we knew how to pack, we knew how to conduct ourselves. So I think it's always important to have to get on a bus and travel 2.5 to 3 or 4 hours. I mean, it's just good for you. Your kids kind of earn this, getting on the charter buses and those type of things, getting to go somewhere where they've never been, getting to go see how other people live, how they play. So, but the main thing I do it is prepare for the road game in the playoffs. And like I said, you say, well, if you're good enough seed, you won't have to go on the road, but that's wrong.
Right. Because
like I said, we were 12-0 or 11-0 and the number 1 seed, and had to go to Westlake. But like I said, we had already been there, done that. So that's why I like to do it, just to get our kids prepared for the road trip in the playoffs if we have to do that.
Coach, can I ask you a question about the playoff format? I know folks have talked about that. Just the new format with the top 4 seeds getting a bye. And I don't want to assume anything, but if you earn one of those byes, will the top 2 seeds, will they remain home for the entire 4 weeks? If you win? I mean, obviously, if you win.
Yes, it should work out that
way.
Okay,
I know folks have asked me, and I didn't know the
only
was.
way it wouldn't work out that way is in the week in the quarterfinals if a team has traveled in week 1 and then traveled in week 2 and won.
Okay, so quarterfinal game
it could work out that way.
Okay.
Now I was thinking about that the other day, but it could work out that way because every team's supposed to have a home game. So if you're the 24 seed and you win week 1 and you have to go on the road again week 2 and you win, then you're going to be at home in the quarters.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, again, some people have asked me, and I didn't know what the answer was, and I knew that you would know.
Well,
you know some stuff.
I'll look it up tomorrow to make sure I told you right.
That's good. Well, Coach, we also, this game, just like last year, got moved to Thursday night at 6:30 kick, and I know that that's not an easy decision, but for folks who are just wondering, hey, what moved this game from Friday to Thursday?
Well, last year we moved it to Thursday because of weather concerns, and Coach Z down there, Coach Powell, he was very accommodating about coming up here and practicing. Playing on Thursday night. So he gave me a phone call, and I'm not sure when it was, but it was last week. It was plenty of time to adapt, and maybe Thursday about playing on Thursday. And he had several concerns, and one of which was referee shortage in that area, and thought we'd get a better crew. And I actually had a concern because Saturday is ACT here.
Right.
And we got to thinking about our kids getting back at 1:30, 2 o'clock, getting home, getting in bed at 2:30, and then getting up and taking the ACT at 8 o'clock on Saturday. So, I got thinking, man, it'd be great if we could do that, give them a day of rest. And so, we had to kind of go into planning mode, make sure we get our charters, make sure, the principal's okay with, make sure this is happening, make sure our guys can have enough time as coaches to prepare. So it all worked out really well. And I wanted to accommodate him too. So that's kind of how that goes. We did ask for a 6:30 start just to kind of get us home 30 minutes earlier. So I know it's a long trip for our fans and our kids, but all the parents who have kids that's taking the ACT Saturday should be excited about it.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, let's talk about the Meek game. Last year, it was a really good ball game that I think you guys led, and then Meek came back in the fourth quarter and won that ball game. And historically, we know they've got a very successful program, a couple state championships, and usually are very successful, have an athletic team. And as you look at them this year on film, what do you see from them? And let's just start on the offensive side of the football. What do you see from their offense?
Well, I think you talk about successful. I think they have the 8th most playoff appearances in the state of Louisiana. And I think they've had 7 guys that played in the NFL, a couple that are active right now. So, yes, very successful program. Successful coaches that have been there that know how to run a program. So what do we see from them offensively? They do kind of the same thing. I mean, teams that win consistently in and out don't change offenses year in and year out. They kind of do the same thing. They're just doing it with some different people. They lost some guys on offense last year. The quarterback, who I thought was an outstanding player, number 6, they lost number 2, who was their wideout, the big guy, about 6'2", 6'3", that could really fly. I mean, I think he caught 2 deep balls for touchdowns last year on us. So, they're kind of rebuilding, but the type of guys they're rebuilding with is different than the type of people that usually that we would rebuild with, So they still just huge up front on the offensive line. Skill folks who can run. Devontae Smith, that's in the NFL. There's a number 3 that I'm getting word that's his brother, the running back there. Really good running back. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but then number 2 is a good running back. 18 is just a really good looking kid out at wide out. 14 can play. I mean, they just reload, man. They just got them. They got them who can run and fly and make great catches. So we're gonna have our hands full.
Yeah, it was interesting, Coach. When I was looking at their lineup card, getting that ready, I believe from starting lineup last year to this year's starting lineup, there's one kid that was on the field as a starter for a meet on offense.
Yeah, they had a big turnover for sure.
But to reload, like you're talking about, so
absolutely.
Quickly,
yes,
is impressive. And then on the defensive side, as you look at them on film, I think there are 6 returners on that side. So 7 total returners out of your 22 from a year ago. But when you look at their defense, what do you see from their defense, and what challenges maybe do they present to our offense?
Well, they have a lot of kids. I'd not say a lot of kids, but they have several kids that play both ways. And, they're good in the secondary. Number 20 at corner is really good. I think he's a very good player. Number 3 also plays strong safety. Number 8 plays strong safety. There's those guys can play 5 at inside backer. They play a lot of different offensive linemen in the defensive line. 64 is a guy that plays both ways. He immediately jumps out at you because he's just, he's so big. And 71's a guy that's played some both ways. But like I said, the challenge is not them really for us. The challenge is us to go and execute. And I think if we go execute, we're going to be fine. But if we don't execute, we're going to struggle. So it's really about us and going and executing and doing our thing and getting it done.
Well, Coach, I want to ask you a couple questions about offense and defense, because we've talked a lot today in the last couple of weeks about how good we've played. Of course, everybody's kind of feeling good about who we are. And I don't take anything away from that, but I know that you've talked about brick by brick building this thing into a championship team. And so let's start on the defensive side for us. What are some areas for us to grow in? And we're talking about the highlights. We're talking about the things that we've done well. But what are some things in the next couple of weeks that defensively, man, we really got to hone this in if we're going to make a run at this thing?
Well, we're still not playing real good contain defense on the edges. We lose contain sometimes because we don't take very good angles, and we need to work on that. We still line up. Occasionally we line up in the wrong thing. We get the wrong call in. Those things are all coachable and can be corrected. But, those are just type of things. We get lost in coverage occasionally. I've noticed, we don't trust what we see. They're going to tell you what's happening. We just don't trust it. So those are some things, we can get better at defensively for sure.
Well, Coach, then same question for the offense. Like, what are some things that really we've got to do really, really well if we're going to make a run at this thing all the way through December? I
think we just got to execute better. I mean, it's there. You can go after games and watch films, and it's like, man, if he cuts here, he scores, or if he cuts there, he scores, or if we give it, he scores, or if we put, it's just just the operation. And but yeah, the offense is there. It was just ready to explode. And I'm happy that we are where we are with everything, because we have a lot of room for improvement. But I tell you what, I'm that I haven't said that we can improve, and that's effort. I think we play hard. I think we get after, and I think it means a lot to our kids. And you can see that. We make mistakes, but we're making them full speed, and it bothers our kids. I'm gonna tell you, our kids are up 21-0 at halftime against North Webster, and we were just disappointed. We didn't think we were playing well. We're just disappointed in only scoring 3 touchdowns in one half. So, and that's good, but we got a lot to improve on, and I'm gonna tell you, people should be excited because we haven't even really hit our stride yet. So we'll see what happens.
Well, Coach, good luck as you travel down to a meet, or as we travel down to a meet on Thursday, and I'll give our fans all those information and details in just a moment. But Coach, a word to the fans that'll be traveling down or maybe just watching online Thursday night. What would you say to them?
Well, I think it's going to be a great atmosphere. I think we got a fan bus about filled up maybe.
Confirm that. I hadn't heard.
Yeah. Was on Facebook. I'm surprised you ain't heard it. But
there was so much other stuff this week, Coach.
But yeah, we got that going on, man, and I think a lot of our fans are ready to travel down there. It's going to be good food. Anytime you get south of Macomb, you're going to eat really good.
Yeah, now speaking my love language.
So yes, so they're going to enjoy that part of it, and it's going to be a fun game. This is a spread offense we see a lot of, but these guys do it a little differently. So it's going to be fun to kind of see how this plays out. They're rolling out the red carpet for us, man. They're rolling out the red carpet. So they're obviously excited about us coming down. So we just need to match their intensity and see what happens.
All right. Well, folks, this Thursday night, again, the ball games have moved from Friday to Thursday, 6:30 kick down at Amite, Louisiana, Sterlington versus the Amite Warriors. If you can't make it, you can catch us right here on YouTube beginning at 5:45 with a replay of this coach's show. And then the pregame show will start at 6:15 and kick off right at 6:30 with myself and William Handy. And be sure to check out the website, shspantherfootball.com, for highlight videos, game replays, and more. And you'll also find the link for the live stream on that website. Coach, I'll give you the final word before we sign off.
Well, we're excited. A great crowd here tonight. We appreciate Miss Bonnie and Frenchman Spin for having us. And, again, we really appreciate all of our sponsors. And, we couldn't be doing what we're doing. We're making a trip down next week. We're taking 2 charter buses. We're eating meals. And, all that's coming from people who care about the program. So we appreciate everything you guys do, and hope to see you there. And as always, go Panthers.
All right, folks, you've heard from Coach Doty tonight. That'll do it for tonight's Primestar Home Health Coaches Show. I hope you have a great week. We'll see you Thursday night for kickoff at 6:30 in Amite.
Choose Primestar Home Health. We'll provide the best care for your patient or loved one. From managing chronic conditions to wound care and therapy, we specialize in a wide range of services. Primestar Home Health. We have the skill to heal and the spirit to care. Choose Primestar Home Health. We'll provide the best care for your patient or loved one. From managing chronic conditions to wound care and therapy, we specialize in a wide range of services. Primestar Home Health. We have the skill to heal and the spirit to care.